It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Wednesday, the 1st of May. I'm Michael Groff. Dry conditions, temperatures to remain above average for the rest of the week and as we head toward the weekend. Then we will see a bit of a cool down by Sunday and Monday, along with some windy conditions at times. There's a chance that we could see at least some isolated showers and thunderstorms over far northern Arizona, but around here, of course, we are in the heart of the dry season and things will stay dry. All right, let's get into it here. The almanac from yesterday, 96 degrees the afternoon high, 69 the morning low, obviously above those averages of 89 and 65. Boy, how about that record low of 39 degrees? That would be delightful right about now, but no, not meant to be. All right, looking outside right now here at 11:17 a.m. Sunny sky across the area, 87 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point 32, humidity 14%. It's a light wind in the barometer, 29.76 inches and falling. The upper level weather pattern across the nation, we've got troughing to the north of Arizona, a dry west to northwesterly flow here, and temperatures as a result should be pretty much just a few degrees above average. More of the same basically for today and tomorrow. Obviously no sensible weather around here for a considerable amount of time. Unfortunately, as that trough moves in toward the plain states, there could be some showers and thunderstorms. We do have flood watches over parts of central and east Texas. Otherwise, things pretty quiet on the watch warning map, but the convective outlook shows you the story here. We've got that enhanced risk of severe storms from around San Angelo all the way up toward right between Dodge City and Pratt, Kansas, and the broader severe weather risk from central and south Texas all the way up into parts of Kansas and Nebraska, western Iowa. And again, these are places that have just seen round after round of severe storms over the last several days. So unfortunately, looks like we're going to see more. Although the storm chasers will be happy about that. The precipitation outlook, this is valid through Wednesday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, basically nothing. Again, a light shower or thunderstorm maybe up across the northwestern part of the state. With the passage of this trough, but even that looks pretty unlikely. We'll get into the details of it right now as we explore the models. Take a look. This is the GFS. It's the 12Z run, and this is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Troughing off to the north of us, and the southern periphery of that moving toward the plain states. But for us, down at the surface for the rest of the day today, sunny sky, a light afternoon breeze, maybe high temperatures. How about low 90s? Pretty much what we have seen for the last several days, maybe a couple of degrees cooler than what we saw yesterday. Otherwise, for tonight, we'll see clear sky and overnight lows generally in the upper 50s to mid 60s. And tomorrow, it's more of the same. Upper 80s, low 90s, sunny sky, low to mid 90s on Friday. The sky sunny, the air dry. Saturday, here comes a trough. It's coming down into California, the Great Basin, the Pacific Northwest. We could see some rain, even some high elevation snow for the Sierras, some wind. But here, Saturday's going to be a dry day with highs squarely in the mid-90s. Let's go to Sunday. The trough moves inland. And the last couple of runs of the GFS have shown a tendency to have this trough a little bit further to the north. We kind of were seeing a trend with it moving further south. Now it's pivoting back toward the north. And there's obviously some forecast uncertainty here. But at this stage of the game, whether it moved a little south or a little north for us, the ramifications are fairly similar. Sunday looks like a sunny and windy day at times, especially in the afternoon. We could even see some patchy blowing dust at times. Temperatures should still manage to make it up to, I'd say, around 90 or so. Maybe the low 90s, just really depends, but any precipitation chances will stay far to the north, maybe up along the Arizona-Utah border. Places like Page could see a passing shower maybe, and even there, I would suspect the chances are pretty low. You have to get up into Utah, Idaho, Montana, Wyoming before you run into any precipitation with this feature on a more widespread basis. But other than that, just some breezy to windy conditions. Temperatures will cool off, though. By Monday, highs should be back in the mid to upper 80s. The sky's sunny, dry air. Tuesday, back into the low 90s likely here, as We still see troughing off to the north of us, but that's where the main storm track is going to remain. Obviously, in the month of May, that's usually what happens. Storm track stays to the north. And an interesting weather pattern is going to develop with a persistent low pressure really over Montana, the Dakotas, southern Canada. That's going to hold as we go to a week from today. This is Wednesday, the 8th of May. Man, if you're up in the Dakotas, Minnesota, parts of Montana, southern Canada, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, I could see some cool and unsettled weather for quite a prolonged period of time. Temperatures would be below normal there. But since we're on the southwest side of all that, dry northwesterly flow should keep temperatures close to, if not maybe just a tick above or below on any given day, seasonal averages. Really, we don't see any major heat waves, but no major cool downs here either. And obviously the rain would stay far away from us. And that's going to hold as we go out 10 days. This is Friday, the 10th of May. Low pressure sitting to the north of us across the Great Basin up into Idaho and Pacific Northwest. And look, temperatures will still be pretty close to normal if that verifies. And no chance of any real precipitation here. But again, no extreme heat in that pattern either. So that's good. Looking at rainfall for Phoenix off the GFS ensemble, nothing. And this goes out through the 15th of May. I mean, nothing. Not a single member advertises precipitation. That's, well, we see that often here in the month of May. The European ensemble, you got 51 members, and there is one that shows precipitation. So again, out of 82 members, nothing, basically. 1 out of 82 members has precipitation. And then let's go to the long-range outlook. We talked about this yesterday. This is the outlook for June, July, and August issued by the Climate Prediction Center. And we're going into a La Nina year, okay? We're going into a La Nina pattern. And when that happens, in the transition toward La Nina, the monsoon around here, generally speaking, features below average precipitation and above average temperatures. We have seen that before. Now, that's not always true. Remember, 2021 and 22 actually saw above average precipitation in La Nina. So it's not a guarantee. So whenever you look at these graphics, you do want to take it with a grain of salt, but the odds favor below average precipitation in those weather patterns, particularly given what we're seeing developing in the North Pacific with sea surface temperatures drastically above average. And that generally leads to high pressure that sits over the North Pacific. What that does is it deflects these storm systems into the Rockies. And so our normal subtropical ridge that would set up in the Rockies to give us that southeasterly flow for the monsoon season, it is often suppressed by these troughs that come in at a steep angle into the Rockies and the Plain States. So unfortunately, the ridge is forced further to the west or further to the east. And if it's forced further west, we usually would get a drier flow of air generally. We would often see more of a westerly or northwesterly flow, depending on where the ridge sets up, so the monsoon would be suppressed. Now, looking at temperatures, this is for June, July, and August off of the CPC outlook here, and the odds favor above average temperatures. Again, this isn't a guarantee, but sure looks like we will see another hot summer and maybe a dry summer. The odds favor below average precipitation for most of Arizona, the western part of the state, and out into California, Nevada, up into parts of Oregon. Equal chances for above and below average precipitation. This is just probability, okay? This isn't, again, not a guarantee. This isn't set in stone. And we all know how it works around here. All it takes is one really strong storm that puts down 3 inches of rain, and boom, you've blown out the average. And right away, your entire prediction is wrong. You know, it only takes one storm here to throw off a prediction like this. Nevertheless, the probability is skewed in favor of above average precipitation and above average temperatures and below average precipitation for the upcoming period of June, July, and August. And if we were to look at July, August, and September, I looked at that outlook too. It's virtually identical to this. Okay, temperatures off the national blend of models for the next 10 days or so. Look, a little bit above average on most days, right around normal on others. Highs anywhere from the mid and upper 80s to mid 90s or so. And this really isn't that crazy out of bounds for early to middle May. This is what we can expect. At least we're not seeing just day after day of 105, 104, 107. You know, that'll come, but at least we're not there yet. You know, you got to be optimistic sometimes, right? All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. And should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. I want you to leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. And if you really like what we do here, click that notification bell. And that way you can donate to us monetarily if you are so inclined and so able to do so. Or you can donate directly via PayPal, groffshow@gmail.com. That's GROFF show@gmail.com for PayPal. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildarizona.com, sweetchildaz.com.org, and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona. Again, sweetchildaz.com and .org. And I'm talking about my Michelle. I don't want to screw up the plug there, so had to make sure I get it right. sweetchildaz.com. And a great website, great resources, good stuff as always. Michelle will be cooking up another blog here in the next several days, so I want you to check that out. And of course, our streaming station, it's available 24/7, 365. That is available too. We've got that linked up and just a ton of other stuff for you to check out in the description. All right, thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support, it is so greatly appreciated. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Please be safe out there. Stay cool, stay hydrated. Have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Wednesday.